All right, Southwest Florida, you are looking live at a spectacle of magnificent proportion. Where is Lee Pitts Live today? You're not going to believe this. We're smack dab in the heart of the Edison Mall in the city of Fort Myers. If you're looking at us from out of this part of the area, Fort Myers is located in the southwest quadrant of the state of Florida, one of the fastest growing cities in the world. We're here for the Black Expo that's going to be taking place. And of course, I'm Lee Pitts of Lee Pitts Live, and we've been on the air for 30 years. It's so good to open up my first interview on location at the Black Expo in the heart of the city of Fort Myers with the mayor himself, who will be my guest. We'll be right back. Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. We're here at the Edison Mall in the heart of the city of Fort Myers. One of the economic engines of this city. Has been here for over 40 years. I'll get the exact time when I talk to the general manager. But let's talk to the man who's running the city right now, Kevin Anderson, the mayor of the city of Fort Myers. Welcome to Lee Pitts Live, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Lee. It's a pleasure to be back. I always enjoy coming on your show. You know, before we get going, though, I want to take a minute and just give you a small token of our appreciation. This is a city seal. It's a lapel pin, and I know you will wear it proudly, showing, as you have for years, showing your support of the city of Fort Myers.
Well, Mr. Mayor, this is an honor. It's an even deeper honor coming from you. I wish you all the luck as the new mayor of the city of Fort Myers. And one of the things I would say that since you've been in office, nothing but good things have been coming out of that office. I want you to keep up the good work and just know that everybody here in the city of Fort Myers is rooting for you, because as you do well, our city do well. And the service that you have provided to this city before becoming mayor, as a police officer, as a city council person, all of that public service that you have provided to this city has not gone unappreciated. So thanks a lot, and I will wear this with honor.
Well, thank you very much, Lee.
Mr. Mayor, the event that you come here to talk about is the Edison Awards. However, you are aware that a Black Expo is taking place here, and it's the talk of the town at the Edison Mall. When we have something like a Southwest Florida Black Expo to come to our community now, what does that mean to the city of Fort Myers?
I think it reinforces the diversity in this community, and that people recognize the importance of that diversity. And I'll have to tell you, Lee, I had lunch with Angela and Brad one day, and they mentioned this, and I couldn't get back to City Hall quick enough to get with the city manager and say, we need to be a part of this, and we need to make this happen.
Now, I think that you're going to do a presentation at some point today, welcoming. Tell me what your role is here today.
Today, I'm just stopping by to say hello. Tomorrow, on the Saturday, I will be giving a short speech on the importance of diversity.
Okay, well, that's nice to know. And now that we've got those pleasantries past us, let's go to something that I'm very, very excited to talk about, because I didn't know it existed. I'm glad I don't feel too bad that I didn't know it existed, because you've told me that it used to be a New York City thing. And we're now starting to take things from New York and bring them to Fort Myers. I mean, we big time. So we're going to start having the Edison Awards, which is the Oscars of Innovation, that was formerly taking place in New York City for many years, and now is coming to Fort Myers on August 22nd. Talk to me, man.
Absolutely, Lee. This is just really big for the city. As you mentioned, it's the Oscars of Innovation, and what that means is, look at Hollywood, how we award actors and actresses for their performances. Well, this does the same thing with people who are innovative and create new products and processes. 34 years this has been going on, and we managed to bring it to downtown Fort Myers. We've got a 3-year commitment to host it in Fort Myers, which is big for the city.
And it's going to be at the new, sparkling, brand new Luminary Hotel.
The Calusa Sound Event Center at the Luminary Hotel.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a two-pronged question I can get out of there. One, to have Calusa Sound up and running, the Luminary Hotel and everything that goes along with that. To have our connection here in Southwest Florida with Thomas Edison. And to be able to bring that event to our area in a grand way says a lot about all the things that the city of Fort Myers has put in place over the years to have those two intersect at the perfect time. Go.
Absolutely. You know, the Luminary Hotel is anticipated to have a $100 million economic impact on this city. Huge.
Huge.
All right? And when you talk about economic...
Hold on a second. When you say 100 million economic impact, you saying over the life of the hotel or per year or in a year?
Not a year.
But
that's over a span.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Oh, no, that would be great if it was every year.
Just go ahead.
But between, putting people to work and the
Right.
restaurants and the rooms and whatnot. And when you talk about why this is so important, because this is where Thomas Edison
Yes.
chose to winter. And, I heard a very interesting fact that a lot of people aren't aware of. Thomas Edison, with all his inventions, has had a $17 trillion economic impact on the country. Now, to put that in light, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos from
Steve
Amazon,
Jobs, yeah.
okay, they've only hit $1 trillion economic impact. Thomas Edison, since all his inventions, has created a $17 trillion impact. Well, keep thinking, all these products that
Right.
he invented keep getting improved and redone, and they keep on creating economic impact.
Yeah, Thomas Edison himself, his impact on the world is just when you put it in those terms, I think it makes people revisit and think about that in a way that we realize that it had not been for Thomas Edison's inventions, certainly we wouldn't be sitting here right here under these lights.
Oh, absolutely.
Just as a starting point. But he had so many other inventions, and only until you go to the Edison Ford Winter State till you really get the grasp of that.
And what's really interesting with that whole process with Thomas Edison and the light bulb, he improved the filament, which made the modern day light bulbs that we get to enjoy. It took him over 10,000 attempts to do that, and he never gave up. Talk about perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
And his attitude about it was, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I discovered 10,000 ways not to do something. Talk about attitude.
That's attitude.
Yes.
And speaking of Thomas Edison, one of his compadres, Lewis Latimer.
Yes.
He's going to be discussed and talked about, African American who worked with Thomas Edison as it relates to that week, those days for the Edison Awards, correct?
Yes. And for those who don't know, Lewis Latimer, the fellowship, they recognize modern day black inventors who are changing the world. And one of the people who's going to be involved in that piece of the program is a local resident, Patrick Penny, I believe he's Haitian, who created this medical supply company. I don't know the specifics of the product. It's called Imcrite. It's on Veronica Shoemaker Boulevard there between Winkler and Colonial. And Patrick, I believe, started as a RN or something like that in the medical profession, and now he has this company that's producing medical supplies.
Well, we're going to know more about Patrick because you just introduced him to me in this conversation. We'll certainly have him sitting in that chair real soon.
And you need to. You talk about an innovator.
Yeah, that sounds pretty impressive. I want people to also know that there's a website as we continue with this interview to get more detail. That will be EdisonAwards.com. Now, we have April 22nd as the start date. Walk us through the events, and do they go into a second day and a third day?
It's going to be a couple days of events. Actually, they're going to be at the reception at the Edison Ford Winter Estates on the 21st. There's a visit to Babcock Ranch celebrating Earth Day. Then there's going to be the Thomas Edison or the Edison Awards Gala and VIP event on the 22nd at the Luminary, Calusa Sound.
Now, this event is going to attract people from all over the country?
We have
the world?
The world. Mm-hmm. We have nominations from 17 countries. People who are innovators from 17 different countries have been nominated, and 5 of the finalists are from Southwest Florida.
Wow. Now, see, what people need to understand, too, is that in that world of innovation, inventors, this is the Oscars. You see, and so they track this and they want this on their resume. This is a prestigious award. Who are some of the finalists? I think I saw some names there.
Oh, you're absolutely right about this being
right.
a prestigious award. You've got Neogenomics, which is headquartered in South Fort Myers, and they are expanding. I mean, they're on fire. Florida Gulf Coast University is one of the finalists. Babcock Ranch. You know, if anybody hasn't been out to Babcock Ranch, they need to take a visit.
I've seen Babcock in writing, never been out there. I thought I had been everywhere. Speak a little bit about Babcock, if you will.
Well, you know, Babcock Ranch is right on the Lee County, Charlotte County line. Most of it falls into Charlotte County. It's on Highway 31. And they have developed this little town center with homes that are energy efficient.
Gotcha.
So it's you know, everything's geared toward taking advantage of solar power and those type of issues. Some of the other winners, Black and Veatch, and of course Arthrex, which is another medical supply company
Right.
that has
Well
offices here in
recognized.
Fort Myers. Yes.
Okay, so then from that group, one would be selected.
I believe that's the process. So they will.
Okay, so this is really exciting. Now, is the public invited, and how do they go about it? I know you can go to the website, but is this something, when I think about, you know, this fancy things like this, do we have to have a lot of money to be able to just come out and be a part of it?
I don't know what the process is. I believe it's a somewhat closed event this first year because of COVID, but typically they say, you know, they get up to 500 attendees.
Gotcha.
This year it's a little bit smaller, like I said, because of COVID.
All right. Well, that's going to be downtown Fort Myers, Calusa Sound, Luminary Hotel. We encourage people to go to their website to find out all about this. Edison Awards are now in Fort Myers for 3 years. That's the Innovative Awards, and that's the Oscar of Innovation. So can't wait to be a part of that.
And
Mr. Mayor,
could I add one thing?
Right.
This didn't happen by accident. This was by design. When you look at what's happening in Fort Myers, the message is out there. Fort Myers is open for business. As you mentioned, we're one of the fastest growing cities in the country. You know, look what we've done with the River District in the downtown area. That's not going unnoticed. So industry leaders are taking notice of Fort Myers. Ideally, hopefully what's going to happen is they're going to like it down here. They're going to look at businesses, starting businesses or relocating businesses down here. That's good for the local economy. That creates higher than normal paying jobs. Good for everybody.
Okay. Encourage everybody to go to that website. Now I'm going to change gears. I want to make sure I took care of that. I certainly wanted to go to the future of Fort Myers and some of the things that are taking place. When I ride through downtown Fort Myers and I see a lot of residential as I head west, I hadn't seen that. I just went down there by that Publix.
Yes.
I think all that's residential. Those are apartments that are coming in. Then as we go east, there's a whole lot of discussion about how we're going to develop going east and continue to put up some affordable opportunities there, ML King and along the way. I know Toll's Garden has been approved. It's coming online. Just kind of give us your bird's eye view of some of the things that people can look forward to.
We are excited that there's a lot of efforts that's going to be put into Palm Beach Boulevard, Martin Luther King, and 41 to get those major corridors back to being the thriving commercial corridors they once were. And when you think about that, when that happens, that spreads into the neighborhoods. So we're going to see a lot of good things with Midtown. We've had a lot of emphasis on building rooftops, places for people to live. Now, I'm hoping what we're going to see, we're getting a new city manager. We have a economic business and economic development administrator. What I hope we're going to start seeing now is that emphasis on economic development and attracting businesses to Fort Myers.
I want to get two questions in when you mention that. One, what are you looking for in your choice for a new city manager? Two, the amphitheater downtown next to Calusa Sound. I got a chance to see the construction going on there. I want to get both of those in. The impact, let's go impact of the amphitheater and the socially for the city of Fort Myers.
Well, once again, that's part of that $100 million economic impact at the hotel. is bringing, because that's associated with the hotel. But it's also going to be a great public venue and a place for a lot of social activities. Once again, driving people to downtown. Hopefully you're going to see more people eating downtown, shopping downtown. And what we need to understand is downtown is one of several economic drivers for the city. They're creating tax revenue, which allows for more expansion, more growth.
City manager, what are you looking for in the city manager?
I am looking for a city manager who is a visionary. Not just a visionary, but somebody who can take that vision and put it into play. So I want somebody who can look at the city and not see where we are and say, why can't we be like this, but look at the city and say, this is where we're going to be. I mean, think about this. I think it was May of 1961, John F. Kennedy, in a joint address to the Congress, he said, by the end of the decade, we should put a man on the moon and bring them back safely. Now, that seems okay now because we've been there, done that. We're on Mars. I mean, we've landed on Mars. But back then, we didn't have the computer systems we had. So that was like a near impossible. I want a city manager who can look and say, I don't see what we have now. I see what we can be. And then be able to drive us that way. I want a city manager who can look at the totality of the city. Not individual wards, but look at how all the wards collectively need to be in good shape, working together for the benefit of the entire city.
We hear the word Midtown. It's a word, I've seen renderings. Where are we with Midtown? First of all, I want you to Sesame Street this for our viewers. What is Midtown, and where are we in the process of Midtown becoming a reality?
Midtown is basically that area just south of downtown. So it's from Martin Luther King to Edison and 41 over to, I believe, Evans Avenue. So the concept there is that the city's going to invest in infrastructure, and we've voted to change zoning laws, increase density, so that we can attract development in that area. Ideally, that will spread both south and east. As that grows and becomes the place to be, then you're going to see it moving. So we're going to see other areas, especially
that would be residential and commercial?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a combination.
Sort of like a design community,
Yeah.
some of it, or it's like when I look at some of these design communities where you got to retail at the bottom, residential at the top, and there will be some single-family homes as well.
I don't believe there's going to be any single-family homes, but what you're going to do is almost like in a bigger city where you have those blocks, very walkable.
Right.
Bicycle friendly,
Biking lanes, all of that.
And
poodles.
Yeah, and you have those commercial spaces on the first floor, and then you have the residential units above. And what's really exciting is I'm hopeful that Lee Health is going to be a big part of Midtown. That we will move services into Midtown, bring them even closer to Dunbar.
I see what you mean. Final question. What we know as the old Red Sox Stadium.
Yes.
I passed there the other day. I know Florida Southwestern has its logo up there, and I think they're leasing that. What's the long? Do you see that stadium being there indefinitely?
That's a really interesting question, Lee, because it's been approved for demolition. However, there's been discussion about, wait a minute, what can we do to revitalize it? Maybe turn it into an amateur sports center. I'm actually meeting with the president of FSW, and I'm going to get his input on if he sees an opportunity for more use of that stadium by FSW. So it's still kind of up in the air.
A lot of real estate.
Yes, it is. And currently for Midtown, what's designed to go there is a town center. Now, what's neat about that is Hendry Street. There's talks about making that, or people wanting us to explore that, I should say, making Hendry Street a pedestrian mall all the way from the river to the stadium. So now you've got this stretch where it's pedestrian friendly, no vehicles, you got all kinds of shops going in, and you've got an anchor on one end is the river, and an anchor on the other end is the town center or the sports complex, whatever it turns out to be. So there's reason to actually walk from one end to the other.
You know, Mr. Mayor, it's so interesting listening to you talk about the future and how things are going to look, because I've been doing this show for 30 years, right? So I interviewed all the mayors during that period. Each one of them have come in, and all of them have had these different ideas and concepts. And now much of that is in reality. It has come. I remember when we were tearing up downtown and it was going to be this great river district one day, and now it is. I remember when people don't know this, you know this, we remember when it was a ghost town downtown, okay? And people, now it's almost, you know, it's like a wonder of the world. I mean, it's a beautiful place. And that river, I remember, I think it was Wilbur Smith, or it could have been Bruce Grady or what have we, we're talking about, throughout the process, through Humphrey and all of them, we're talking about and how we so fortunate to have that river running right through the city. Talk about the benefits of we got a river running through downtown area.
Every major city that is waterfront on the river has taken advantage of it because the water just attracts people. Take a look at Tampa and Channelside, what's happened there. And they have a beautiful river walk from Channelside, which is down by Ybor City.
Right.
And you can go all the way up to where the Armature Works building is. That's an old factory type building that was converted into like a food court type facility. It's got a great venue. Very active.
San Antonio, Jacksonville, New Orleans.
Even a little town like Punta Gorda has a river walk now from Fisherman Village to Lashley Park. So taking advantage of that water is very important.
Gotcha.
And the more people we can attract to Fort Myers, the more the city as a whole benefits.
The days of sleepy Fort Myers being what we would consider an attractive thing are now moving to economic engine, more jobs, growth.
Absolutely.
That people need to lock that in. We're in growth mode.
And just think about, you know, if we can raise that lower end of salaries, what a lot of people don't realize, by population in Lee County, Fort Myers has the greatest percentage of population that earns under $35,000. If we can attract higher paying jobs and we can move that figure up, what does that do for the entire community and city? Okay. It makes housing more affordable. If you're making more money, it's
more services, public services, better everything. Right. Okay. Well, Mr. Mayor, we'll continue to get you in here from time to time to keep us updated in the Mayor's Corner on Lee Pitts Live. We'll see you right here at the Edison Mall at the Black Expo is about to kick off. Lee Pitts Live is front and center. We'll be here for the next 3 days, the entire Edison Mall. Tonight will be the black all-white reception for the Southwest Florida Edison Mall. Me, Lee Pitts, I'll be hosting that reception, dressed white. We'll see you. Hello, Southwest Florida. Thanks for watching Lee Pitts Live. Of course, I'm Lee Pitts. I hope you enjoy that particular show, but you can always catch us here on YouTube. Just click on the subscribe button down there. That way you can get your Lee Pitts Live on demand when you want it and how you want it. We also encourage you to watch our show on FOX4 and connect with us on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live.